Good evening, everyone. Welcome to our post-match press conference following a game against East Bengal. With me is head coach Des Buckingham. Floor is open. You can introduce yourself and ask your questions.
Hi coach, I'm Suraj from the Hero website. First victory at home, first time you failed to score in 19 games or 20 games. So what are your thoughts on it?
Oh, look, I think tonight we used it as an opportunity to look at a lot of the players we haven't had a chance to look at, and I'm delighted with the young players that made their debuts. We had Hardik at right back. We brought him up from the I-League, so we need to test him and see what he can do, and he played very well. Young Harlan, we've had with us for 3 months, and I thought he was fantastic for a young boy at centre back to compete up against the likes of Jervis and Clayton. It was a tough challenge for him, but I thought he stood his ground very well. Up front, Ayush, we led with an all-Indian line, trying to develop not just wingers now, but forwards. And he's very different to other players that we have. And first half, again, done very well. And then we've had people like Raul Apoya, who's come on. He's waited so long to come on. Young Nickum's come on to make his debut as well, and that complemented what was already on the pitch, with Asif and all those players. So we used it as a chance to test them and see what they could do, and I think they passed with flying colours in terms of how they've adapted and shown what they can do, whilst also making sure that we looked after our squad to make sure we arrive at the semi-finals with everybody available, and we now will. Not only will we arrive in the semi-finals with everybody available, but we've got a far better idea of what our young players can do, if required, on this stage. So very happy with their performances, and that will stand us in good stead both now and certainly for the future.
Do you think these two defeats, especially like the Euro FC and East Bengal FC, will help you analyze and get an overview of your weaknesses and where you where the team has exploited your players or your system?
No, not really. We used tonight for a different purpose. We'd earned the right, I think, to we knew we'd won the league. We were going to finish at least 4 points clear. So we could use the game. We still wanted to go out and perform and obviously win the game. But you make that many changes, we need to test and try things because we may need them in the semi-final. So that was the purpose behind tonight. We tried to still get a result, and I think with the chances that we created certainly throughout the game, we could and should have scored. But it will help as we move into the semi-finals, knowing two things. One, that we've now got a lot of other players that can contribute and stand up at this level. And secondly, if there are lessons to be learned from the Bengaluru game, we'll certainly take them into the next one if we play them in the semi-final.
Congratulations, Shahid from Score. Coach, there were a lot of, if I'm not mistaken, a lot of emotions from you as well before the match started. Can you just describe what was going through the mind? And it's been a long journey for you as well, but just what was going on before the 90 minutes started?
Yeah, there's a lot that goes on in my mind, probably too much sometimes. But it's one of, when I look back at the last 10 months especially, from the Champions League, finishing second in the group, picking up the results and the wins, but also the performances that got those things, to then the Duran Cup final, to now winning the League Shield. The last 10 months has been a huge, I don't know what the right word is, for the club, what we're trying to do. And when you see that football and when you see players buy in and they trust what we're doing, and then we've got a lot of young players that will come in and contribute to that, it's a sort of a proud feeling that you've been a part of it. It's not just me, it's a lot of the other support staff that never get a look in, and I can't name them all, but you can't do anything by yourself. And I've been so fortunate to be surrounded by a wonderful staff group. We've been able to build a wonderful squad, good people, good players, and in talk about an emotion, I think when you contribute and sacrifice so much, which these players and these staff do, we live together all the time, we're mostly away from friends and family, but we do it because we get results like we do tonight, and because we love what we do. So when that all comes together, sometimes it gets you a little bit. But it's a very proud moment for me personally, but a hugely proud moment for the club.
Coach, there's also between now and the semi-final there's a considerable gap. So how do you continue the momentum? I don't know if I can even use that term, but how do you just keep the ball rolling the way you have over the past season?
We'll do what we've done in between the last couple of campaigns that we've had. So I spoke Champions League, Durand Cup, and the league. We've always had a little bit of a break in between those to make sure. We've been together for 6.5 months now, and literally on top of each other, 7 days a week. So players will have 5 days off now, so they're Monday through Friday. They'll all go back to friends, families, and it won't be a party for them. It'll be rest, recover, and recuperate. And what we've found that when they do report back, they come back at a lot better condition. And we still then have 10, if not 12 days to work towards the semi-final. So they'll come back fresh, fit, ready to go. And like I said, we've now, because of how we've managed the last game, this game, we now have everybody available, which is going to be so important for the semi-final.
Rakesh from Khena. Just a word on East Bengal as an opposition. You had a close run-in with them in the Durand Cup as well. Do you think that the brand of football that they play, does that challenge Mumbai City FC? Your overview of them as an opposition?
No, I think the 2 times we played them in very similar circumstances. When we played them in the Durand Cup, we left a lot of players out because they were on bookings that could have carried through to the knockout stages. I think we actually played Gil and Vinit at centre back in that game. So we, again, that game, just by sheer chance, and it was the same tonight. We didn't want to risk anybody on yellow cards, didn't want to risk anyone with a slight knock, because there was no need, and it was an opportunity to see those young players. So, no, in terms of do they cause us a problem, they've picked up the result tonight, and well done to them for that. But what we've been able to look at for us, like I said, that will put us in a much better and stronger position as a group as we look forwards.
Evening, Coach. Coach, so today you played all Indian frontline. With Haaland coming in, is there a possibility of we seeing Islanders backline just with Indian players?
What, sorry?
All Indian backline.
All Indian backline soon?
One step at a time, huh?
I mean, even Indian attack.
Look, it doesn't. The beauty of the squad that we have, and we're trying to plan for the future as well. And I've spoken many a time around trying to work with the best players, young or old, and if they perform, they'll get opportunities. And they need opportunities because you need to trust them when they go in. And that was the pleasing thing tonight. We talked about an all-Indian front line. We started with Ayush, who I thought, again, done very well. And then Gurkharat, who come on and has obviously done wonders for the under 20s and has done well for us here. With that, you look at our back line, we've had a lot of changes to that back line throughout the season. And Matada Ford is the only foreign centre back that we played tonight, and we brought Haaland in. We've obviously got Gil, we've got Metab that we left out of the squad to make sure he didn't pick up a booking. So we've got a lot of good players. That's without Mr. Raul Beque out as well. It's with Raul Beque to still come back in, and he'll be back for the semis as well. So we do have the ability, if we wanted to play that. But we wanted to have a look at the All Indian front line first, and then we'll see how we go. Thank you.
Hi Coach, this is Nikolai from the ISL Media. Congratulations on the win. After the full-time whistle, we saw you having a chat with Haaland after the game, and I thought you were trying to console him. Could you let us know what you said to him? And with the playoffs coming, could we see him more involved?
Yeah, I'll share exactly what I said to him. He was very emotional after the game. Obviously the result, and young players sometimes get caught up in the result. And I told him that in terms of debuts, that's one of the best debuts I've seen at a professional game in all my time in 22 years. And I said, once the emotion drops out of the result for him and he watches that game back, he and his family will be so proud about how he's just played. And like I said, it wasn't up against two easy centre forwards neither. So that was what I shared with him. And for him, once he sees that, I think he's calmed down a little bit now, and he'll enjoy the evening and enjoy the time with the family. But the pleasing thing is now I know that if we want to use him, he's more than capable to come in and fill in for a Rostin or even a Fall, or like he said, like he has done for Metab tonight.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
Coach, I'm being egged on to ask this question, so I'm going to ask. The 2 games you've lost this season are both 2 teams that are coached by ball coaches. So, is that just a coincidence, or is it something you're going to keep an eye out for now?
I'll have to bring a wig with me and put them on. No, I didn't know that. I don't know how to answer that.
Just to add to it, you might have the best hairdo out of all the head coaches in the league. So
I'll have to shave my head again. I'll have a bald off. Yeah, I'll have to shave it.
Well,
Any questions? Shahid has a question.
Coach, of course, 18 matches unbeaten, and then, of course, these last 2 matches you've lost. These losses coming now, of course, going ahead of the semi, does it kind of, in a way, ease the pressure a little bit? You don't have those kind of tags that you are unbeaten and this and that, etc. So does that kind of, do you see it as a good thing, if I may put this in a very weird kind of a way?
Yeah, I think when we look at the last game against Bengaluru, we were disappointed not to have come away with at least the result from that. We fielded a side that we felt we could do that. Like I've already said, tonight was about making sure that we had everyone available whilst giving our players the opportunity to showcase what they could do. And now, the pleasing thing is, every player in our squad is now taken to the field this season. So they can all feel when they wear this medal, they can feel that they've contributed towards it on the pitch as well as in training. What was the second part of the question, sorry?
Well, does it ease the pressure?
Look, we never speak about pressure. It's not something that we always talk about performance. We've never spoken to the team about results and picking up trophies. We're very big believers in if we do what we want to do and we do them as well as we can, that results will often follow. You've never guaranteed anything, of course. So I think the pleasing thing is we've shown over 18 games what we can do. And having everyone now available going into the semi-finals, I fully expect us to pick up and run with that. If I spun it the other way and we'd only played a certain way in 2 games out of 18, but to pick results up, I'd be very worried going into the semi-finals. So I'm very happy with the building blocks that have been put in place. I'm very happy with the consistency that the players have shown, and having everyone available again going into that semi, we'll hit the ground running, I'm sure.
Coach, regarding the youngsters you fielded today, obviously Mumbai is a team of many superstars, but given your coaching career and the work you have done with youth setups, giving like debutants a chance on the field, is that something you individually cherish as well?
Yeah, it's one of the reasons I think I was brought here, was to develop young players or players. In my experiences, I've worked with a lot of good young players that are good players that have gone on to do some wonderful things. And hopefully we're starting to see some of that now here. It's taken 18 months, as it always does. You need time and patience with these players. And then you need to trust them. And if they go on the field and perform in the way that they just have, they'll have a very good career here first, and then who knows in the future. But it's one now, we've tried to build this club not just for this season but for next. And when I look at what I've just seen there, if they can perform like that at this level already, it's a very bright future for them and hopefully for us as a club.
Just take the last one.
Despite the loss, the duo of Vignesh and Paul were like incredibly exceptional, with one of them clearing the ball and one of them making the blocks. So is this kind of a good problem you have, that you have the duo of Vignesh and Paul and Rostin and Mehta to go into before you take on a team for the semi-finals?
Yeah, we'll have all of them, and we'll welcome Raul Becker back as well. He returns to training in a couple of days, so he'll be fit and ready to go for that. So it's a great problem to have, whether we start with 2 foreign players or it's 1, but we now know that we can play Raul Becker. Raul was a centre back and we've made a right back, so he's adapted his game. But it's good to know that we have those options, as well as now Haaland, because we know what he can do. So he's now added to that list. So it's a good position to be in. We'll see how they report back after 5 days, and then we'll pick the best team that we think will get the result, or the performance that hopefully gets the result in that first leg of the semi-final. Once we know who we're playing.
Yeah. We went pretty late.
Yeah.
The last question to close it out, Coach. You didn't get to party after the FC Goa game. Any party plans tonight?
I need to shave my head. Yeah. No, I've got my family here, so we'll enjoy this evening. I think there's something planned on the pitch now, which I'm probably missing, but that's okay. But we'll do some stuff as a team, and then, like I said, the players have got 5 days off. So my family's here. I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to show them around Mumbai. They've loved the last 2 days in and around the club and in and around the stadium and seeing what their son does on a daily basis. But I will also switch off over the next couple of days and make sure that I refresh and get ready to come back and go again. So I'll be in Mumbai, doing a bit of sightseeing with the family.
Thank you so much, Coach.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. We'll see you on 6th and 7th before the.
Thank you very much.
semi-final.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Thanks.